Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name's Amanda, and today we're going to be doing a kind of get ready with me video where I'm going to be talking to you guys and doing my makeup at the same time. Today I'm going to be using the Morphe 35V palette, in case you're wondering, and we're going to be doing kind of like this corner over here with like some purples and some blacks. So we'll be playing with that as well. So I wanted to give you guys a little bit of like information about me, nothing too personal, but like just kind of like questions that you might have. Not that there's too many of you out there, but someday there may be, and you might want to come across this video. Don't mind me if I'm not paying attention to the camera because I'm really just trying to take my eyes. So I'm almost 25. My birthday is in June 21st. I am a Gemini and a Cancer. So I am a lot, just in case you guys were wondering. I am 24. I got married in September, and it was honestly one of the best times of my life. My husband and I have been together for 6 years, and when I was like getting ready for our wedding, it was so extremely like crazy to me that I was only 24 and getting married, but we had been together for 6 years, and honestly I'm so glad we got married last year, because with all of this craziness happening right now, I would probably be going crazy if my wedding were to have been this year. We really wanted a September wedding because that's just what we wanted. Every second of it was amazing, even though I was panicking pretty much until I met him down the aisle. But it was the best day of my life. So any of you who say you don't want a wedding, that's personal choice, and I totally understand why some of you might not want one, but I'm so glad that I did it, because we were leaning towards like eloping, and I'm so glad we didn't. So I guess, you know, like being young, people always ask me, like with my job, I'm a cosmetologist. I've been doing hair and makeup for 7 years now, and people always ask me, oh, like, are you 12? Or like, are you sure you can do that? And I'm like, I always get really, not frustrated, but kind of annoyed, because it's like, I'm licensed. If I couldn't do my job, I wouldn't be telling you I could do something. And I know there's a lot of people out there that do it, but my job's pretty hard. I mostly cut hair, and sometimes, because of the business I work in, I see about 20 to 30 people on a day. And so with this quarantine, like, I've been home for almost 2 months now, and Massachusetts isn't opening back up until at least the 18th, so we have no idea when we're even going back to work. And I don't think it's gonna really be anytime soon. I'm hoping that we do get to go back to work soon, because I'm going crazy, but at the same time, I am also happy because I've had this time to like reflect on myself, and I've realized like my passions and like where I want to be. So I think that's something really important too. Like if you're young and like people are telling you like, oh, you can't do something, or why are you doing that, or whatever they may be questioning you about, like, who are they? Like, you know, like, I just kind of get to the point where I'm like, okay, you can say whatever you want, but like at the end of the day, like, you're not going to change my mind about my job or my life. And also, like, when they're done, they're like, oh my god, that was the best haircut of my life. And I'm like, yeah, well, I'm sorry. You know, not that I'm the best hairstylist in the whole entire world. I mean, there's so many people that are a lot better than me probably. But I do take a lot of pride in my job, and being out and like having all these people protest, like asking for haircuts and like all that stuff, has been like eye-opening, I feel like, for them as well, because I feel like my job has always been undervalued, not just to me, but like in the world, like people are like, so when are you gonna get a real job? And I'm like, kind of laughing because me and my family are fine. Like, you know, like we can still get our haircuts. So now the people that are protesting about haircuts, I'm like, what about my fake job? Like, you know, how is that? My job must be really not important if, you know, clearly you guys, you know, normally are just like, well, I need a haircut now, like, or, oh, you're a hairstylist? What are you gonna do when you decide what you're gonna do? Like they don't even use the word stylist, they just call us hairdressers, which is fine. I mean, it's a term, but like, we go to school, we're licensed, we put a lot of work in to get to where we are, and a lot of us struggle for years before we decide that we're even comfortable where we are. And like, I know I did, but like, for me now, it's more about like the fact that I feel that my life has changed so much because I've learned how to like stand up for myself. And I mean, I didn't have an easy life growing up. Like, I mean, my parents, you know, they're divorced and I love them to death, both of them separately and together, but you know, they never were meant to be married, and it is what it is, you know, like they both have taught me very valuable lessons in my life. And you know, I've learned a lot about like what I want in my life and what I don't want from them and because of them. But like, my mom's my best friend and my dad is somebody that I can trust now. And the thing is it's just like the world is like so crazy, and like you never know when something crazy like this is gonna happen. So I feel like so many people are like learning similar lessons, and I hope that it becomes like a positive, because I feel like people are looking at it as such a negative. Like, I never thought that I would be comfortable in my job, never thought I'd be comfortable in my own skin. Like, I hated high school. I was like, wasn't popular, like not that I needed to be, I didn't really care about that, but I did care about the fact that, like, you know, I hated school and I would have done anything to not go to school, but I had to. And you know, like, I didn't go to college and I got a lot of crap from, you know, my friends for that, and like, oh, you're just gonna like go to hair school. Like, it's not just hair school, it's something that's like really difficult, and like there's a lot of science and math involved in it. Like, the thing, we're working with chemicals on a daily basis. Like, people like think like, oh, I can go buy a box color in the store and get the same results as if they would in the salon. And like, truth be told, that's not even a second close. Like, it's not even something that is even achievable. Like, unless you're a stylist yourself and have access to a beauty supply store, you cannot get results like that at home. Like, I don't understand why people like undermine our jobs so much, because we are really actually pretty essential to human life. Like, people come in, they get their haircuts and they get their hair color every 4 weeks, and they complain when they can't. And you know, that's something that I've never really understood, because like, yeah, we're there for them, but people act like they're the only people in the world. And I think that's like something that needs to be learned from this, is that like everybody's valuable in their own way. And I feel like this pandemic is like really making people, you know, realize like what they rely on and who they rely on. Like, my husband works for Dunkin' Donuts, and you know, I love him to death, but he's still working, and he's like, I can't believe they're calling coffee essential. Like, but you know, at the same time, like, the world has become so dependent on like fast food and like everything right now, and it's like, that's not always the reality. Like, you can't always get everything right now. Like, you can make your own coffee at home. Like, I don't get it, but what I understand it from a point of the I want it right now concept, because like that's the kind of world we live in. But at the same time, like we all have to remember that, like, you know, they're humans too. Like, they're just as afraid as everyone else. They don't want to be there any more than a nurse wants to be in the hospital. Like, you know, it's just like, I'm really grateful that like I'm not at work right now, but I also wish that I was in a way, because it's like sad, like just watching the world like the way it is right now. And I'm just, you know, trying to do my part by staying home and not like going to do crazy things. And like, I probably have left the house 5 or 6 times in the past 2 months, which is not even once a week, you know. So it's really scary. I know I have a great support system where I work, and with who I work, I really appreciate my staff and my boss, and we just all are trying to be positive about the situation, even though it's really difficult, because obviously everybody's struggling. Like, we're not struggling any less. Okay, I think I'm satisfied with that. Now I guess it's time to... let's not drop things, Amanda. So I guess I'm gonna peel the tape off in a minute, and then we'll see the moment of truth. But I need to fix this. I keep screwing up this, like, I've literally dented everything just by, like, using this as a mirror. Okay. And I keep closing it, like I'm not gonna need it as a mirror in a minute. Okay, so I'm gonna... Okay. Alright, so... we're gonna do my foundation and then everything else. So, I just wondering, like, how are you guys doing? Like, are you guys okay during this time? Like, does anybody still have to work? Is anybody, like, struggling with depression? Because I know mine's been, like, pretty great. You know, I love depression. I mean, I struggle with depression and anxiety pretty bad. Like, I have anxiety to the point where, like, sometimes I can't even leave the house. And I've been like that forever. I'm agoraphobic, and it'll never go away. It gets better as years go on, but it will never completely go away. And, so I noticed, like, a lot of my friends and family, though, they're all, like, dealing with the depression, like, hardcore, and I don't feel like I'm depressed more than usual, per se. It's just sad to me that so many people are feeling this way. And I think because I'm used to it feeling like this on a daily basis, which is kind of like not something that I'm proud of, but that's how life works sometimes, you know. Like, see how this one's like so pointed, but that one's like that? Like, I hate my life sometimes. Just kidding. I don't hate my life over eyeshadow, but you know, I just don't know how that happened, but whatever. I think I'm making it worse, guys. But I feel like mental health is something that goes really untalked about, and I know that it's been more talked about lately, but I think that it's really important that people understand, like, the level of their mental health, like how much they can handle, and like when they know they need to get help, because I struggled with that for years, and I never wanted help. I never wanted to admit that I needed help, but sometimes it just comes to a point in your life where you're like, I've had enough of feeling like this, or like, or you just can't deal with life anymore and you're just like, I don't know what to do. Your body changes, hormones, like life happens, and like nothing's gonna wait for you to show up. So it's like, it took me a long time to realize that like I have to be the one to know that like, okay, well, this might not be the situation I want to be in. I might not like having this problem, but I have it, so I have to deal with it. And I think that was something that was really eye-opening for me. And it was very hard to even come to terms with, because like, who wants to tell themselves stuff like that? Nobody. And you know, for me, like, I have been struggling with it since I was a teenager. But there's a lot of people that get depression and anxiety after high school, after college, after whatever it may be. And I feel like a lot of people don't know what to do. And the best thing that's worked for me is counseling. Antidepressants never worked for me, but I am on some medication. Not a ton, you know, like, not much works for me personally. That's just my body chemistry. Doesn't really work with a lot of things, but I think honestly that that's okay. Like, I am doing what I have to do for me, and I think once I started doing what I had to do for me instead of doing for everyone else, I started to learn that like, okay, I can like make this life okay. Like, even though I have to deal with these problems, like, I'll still be okay. And when I met my husband, I was terrified that he would be like afraid of the fact that I had these problems. And he actually was very opposite of that, and honestly has a lot of the same problems. And I think his compassion is like what attracted me to him, you know, like, I love him to death. But the thing is it's like, you never know. Like, I was 18 when I met my husband, and I knew like that second, I was like, okay, well, this is it. Like, I had already written everything else off, which I know you're not supposed to do, but I did. I was like, everyone's gonna tell me I'm crazy, and we moved in together within 3 months of dating, like, and I was basically living where he was living within like 3 weeks. Like, that's not normal, but like for us it was, and it was what we needed at the time. And I say we because I'm not the only one that has problems. We both have our own mental health problems, and you know, we both suffer from anxiety and different things, and it's just like, really, it's good to know that I'm not alone, especially like when you're married to that person and you're like, oh, okay, well, at least I don't have to go through this feeling like with no one understanding how I feel. And like, a lot of people didn't understand it at first, the fact that like I wanted to like live with him and be with him, and like I was convinced we were gonna get married and all that stuff. And like, I laugh now because I'm like, always trust your gut, guys. Always. Like, no one else is going to do what you're gonna do. You're not gonna have a perfect life no matter what. Like, that's not something that exists in this world, and that was hard for me to deal with as well. But I think that like, once I realized that I was gonna have some kind of normalcy, and like my life wasn't gonna change every second, and my life got better and better as I became my own person and like, you know, moved out, and it was better for me because I needed to be on my own. I'm very independent, and I've always been. I love my mother. It's not that like it was her or my father or anything. It was just, I'm an independent person, and when you're an independent person, you don't want to be told what to do. So for me, that was very like eye-opening, that I could understand like what I needed. And the fact that I was so young when I did it, I think my mom was shocked. But at the same time, I don't think she was. I think she was heartbroken because I was moving out, even though, like, you know, obviously I'm her first daughter, so, you know, I'm her oldest child, and it was hard for her, and I know that, and I feel bad that it was, but it was what I needed to do. So, like, I had to be selfish in that moment. And, I mean, she's my best friend now, you know, like, you know, that's how it usually works, you know. I talk to her more than I talk to anyone else. And it's just like, you don't realize when they say, like, oh, your sister will be your best friend, your mom will be your best friend, whatever. It's true, like, my sister is one of my best friends too. Like, she's 5 years younger than me, but we're all each other has. Like, you know, like, we don't have much family. The family we have has either left or just doesn't really care, you know, or they're just people that I don't want to be around right now in my life. And for good reasons. I don't take toxicity as a light thing. If you're toxic to me, I don't care if you're blood or not. It's not always thicker than water, guys. It's really not. So that's how I feel about that. I guess, like, people can, like, judge me all they want on that, but I feel that I make the right decisions for my family that I have now, which is me and my husband. And of course, like, my mom and stuff like that is included, but I mean, we're creating our own family, and, you know, we're gonna have kids, and we want them around people that are positive and gonna love them and not gonna be toxic to them. I will never tell my child to tell somebody they love someone just because they're related to them. It's not something I'm gonna do. And I won't force people on my child. If they want to be involved in their life, they're gonna have to be involved in their life on their own. Like, I'm not going to beg people to be in my kid's life. Because I feel like my mom had to do a lot of that for me. And I don't want that. And I feel very strongly that at the end of the day, I know that, like, who's there for me and who's not. And I feel like once you start realizing those things, your life gets a lot better. These past almost 2 years of my life have been the best. And the past 2 before that were really not. And I only have myself to blame for that. You know, like, I let people in my life that were not supposed to be there. They weren't good people for my mental health. And I took a long mental health break because of that. To me, it wasn't worth it. Losing myself, possibly losing my husband. Not that I was gonna lose him, but he could have told me, like, I don't want to deal with any of this anymore. At any time. And I'm glad he didn't. You know, he put up with a lot. And he still does, especially with me and my crazy mental ass. Okay, so just looking at this look here, we are almost done. And I'm gonna try to do mascara and lashes on the camera, but we will try. We will try when we're not making any promises. I am really honestly obsessed with this look right now, though. I normally don't do looks like this. Only because I just don't. I always buy really bright stuff. My husband was like, do a black eye, do black. I'm like, I'm not gonna give myself a black eye, okay? You know? So, I hope everybody's really, like, not suffering too much from this. And I hope that everyone understands that the world will go back to some kind of normal. It won't be the same ever. I don't feel like it will. But I do feel like we will have a new normal. And it might take some getting used to, but I feel like eventually, as the world reopens back up, sorry, I'm gluing my lashes, well, putting the glue on my lashes, as the world opens back up, I feel like a lot of people will have restored hope, because I feel like there's a lot of not hope around. I know that's not the right word, but I have no vocabulary today. You know, and I'm hoping that everybody's going to be okay with whatever that new normal is, because I know it's difficult, even for me. Like, I get help all the time, and it still ends up being difficult. Like, daily life, like, I'm fine for a few days, and then all of a sudden, breakdown, like, out of nowhere. And I think it's just because everything is so unstable, and there's no normalcy anywhere. But there's the lash. And I always kind of hang it off a little too, because, like, I like the outer edge to be a little bit more dramatic. So that's purposeful, but sometimes that band just pisses me off because it gets my eye watering. I actually had to buy my lashes at Target the other day because the beauty supply stores are closed. And I always get mine, like, so cheap because I'm a cosmetologist. I was almost falling over when I had to pay $15 for 5 pairs of lashes, and I was like, that's a lot. That is a lot. So, I feel you guys on the price. But these are just the Ardell Wispies, and they're my favorite lash. Like, I absolutely love them. I've always worn them. I think I've only ever really worn these and maybe a few other pairs of Ardell. I'm just taking some of that purple and swiping it across the bottom lash line. Just because I want it to have that purple. I really like this color purple. I've played with this palette, but only with the light colors. And I bought this because it's a more violet, cool tone palette. Like, all the shades are more cool. They're not, like, really warm. And I like that about this palette. Okay. This is gonna forever piss me off. The black. It's okay. It was kind of all over the place. But I just really want to make sure you guys understand that we are a community of people, and I want you guys to feel like, you know, sorry, I shouldn't be doing this. I want you guys to feel as though I'm here for you guys. And I'm putting lip gloss on because I don't want to put a liquid lip. I'm just very grateful that I've decided to take this journey, because I feel like even if it's only like 20 or 10 people watching me, I don't care. I just want one person to either learn something or feel like they're not alone. And that's like my goal. And I love makeup, and I love doing it, and I love sharing it. So if it's out there, it's my portfolio, and That's all that matters to me at the end of the day, is that I'm doing something with what I love. So I'm gonna do a close-up on the look for you. Like, I totally could have, you know, fixed that there a little bit, but I think it turned out pretty decent for what it is. I mean, let me try to carve that out a little bit. You never know. Every day is a new day. And I have a lot of videos coming. I have a lot of mail coming for this channel. And I'm really excited about a lot of it. Actually, I'm really excited about all of it. Because I just want to share some things that I got, and I'm gonna have a lot of reviews, and like, that's what I like to watch anyway. I love haul videos and all that stuff. I love to watch what people are buying. Also, I'm gonna have like a battle of the skincare video coming out soon too, but that package has to come first, so that won't be for a while. But yeah, I just hope that this video and this look is not horrible. This is a little bit over here. I know it doesn't look horrible. I'm just, you know, we're our own worst critics, and when it comes to makeup, I'm definitely mine. When it comes to anything, I'm definitely mine. I'll be like, this looks like crap. My husband will be like, what are you talking about? Which I'm glad he believes in me. But at the same time, I'm like, that looks like crap. I could have done better. He's like, it's the first time you've ever done it. And then I'm like, not good enough. But like, I am genuinely happy with this look. I just wanna, okay. I think that I made that look okay anyways. I mean, it could have been a little bit more blended, but that's okay. I think it looks alright. Is it my favorite look I've ever done? No, but I do really like the colors. I like the concept I did with it. And I am pretty excited about the way that it did come out now that I'm looking at it again. Alright, so guys, also if you're wondering about my hair, this is my natural hair. Not the color, the curl. And I've been having it dry, and I've been using this product called Ooey or whatever. I got it in Florida on my honeymoon last year. And I'm just gonna put some more in on the wet part. But it's making my curls dry really nice. And I had it back in a clip because when I do that, I feel like it doesn't get as lion's maney, because that's how my hair gets. So I try to leave it like that as long as I can, so that when I do take it out of the clip, it's not like mess. So I'm trying out different products for beachy hair, because this is my natural curl. Okay guys, well, I'm really hoping you guys enjoyed this video and this Get Ready With Me. I'm sorry if it was super long, but I hope you like these. If you like these videos, comment below. Give me a thumbs up if you haven't already, and hit the subscribe button with the notification bell to get notified every time I upload. And I upload at least 3 times a week, if not 4. And I hope that I will see you in my next video. Have a great day. Bye.